Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 doo. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, I'm here to talk about Maestro today, that film that is nominated for some Oscars. I'm not wearing my Oscar hat, but I'm wearing my Academy Museum hat, so it's like Oscar adjacent. But so what? Bradley Cooper directed this, stars in it. Carey Mulligan is in it. Got some other people in it, and here is Leonard Bernstein, about him, biopic. I didn't know a lot about him. I just know him from the REM song that he's involved with. Was involved with like music in West Side Story and a couple other films, but otherwise, I didn't even know what he looked like. I had no idea, no idea. Could have looked like anything, and I wouldn't know. So this is a film that's like completely out of my wheelhouse. I just don't know. It's not a topic that I know about, cared to know about, or anything like that. So I had that working against it, just because I don't know. Music really just isn't my thing. Like I'll listen to music, but I don't know. I don't like keep up with it. Don't study it. I'm not a sophisticate with it or anything like that, and I'm just not very knowledgeable in it. I did take piano lessons for 4 years though, but I didn't like taking those lessons, didn't practice much, so I don't know. Music's just not my thing. I'm more of a movie person, more of a TV person, more of an art person. Fine art, painting, sculpture, drawing, stuff like that. So that's where I'm at, and I think that was a tough thing for me with this movie, just like jumping into it and trying to care. But here's the thing, I really thought some of the filmmaking techniques that were used were wonderful and awesome and exciting. The different eras that the movie takes place in, you can see the acting styles change, like Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan in the earliest days that the movie takes place. They appear not only to exist within that time period, but also it's like they're almost acting the in with the mannerisms that people acted in during those time periods, right? Because the acting didn't necessarily align with the regular vernacular and mannerisms of the general American public, right? So it was like they were performing it as actors from that time period, which I thought was really cool. I liked that a lot. The makeup was amazing. There were a couple points where I thought the makeup was not as strong. It felt a little inconsistent, like two small moments in the movie. But other areas it was very good, especially when Leonard Bernstein was very old. It's kind of bookended uh, with him at an elderly age. Actually, he's I guess the oldest point that he's shown, because he doesn't look like super frail or anything, but the oldest point he is shown, and that makeup was phenomenal. Like to where I was just like, wow, this is great. This is wonderful. Like that's the type of stuff that kind of, well, it's weird. It like sucked me into the movie, but I wasn't really thinking about the movie, the plot, or anything. I was thinking about just how wonderful that makeup was. So I don't know what you could say. It was like drawing me into the film, but not the. It didn't like create an interest in the story so much for me, which is too bad. But that's a me thing, though. That's not a movie thing. That's just because I don't know, this isn't my scene, It'd be like, let's say you love this movie, and this is the type of movie that you're after and you're always after, and then I told you to watch, I don't know, John Wick 2. And you're like, that's not really what I'm into, It's kind of like that. So, yeah, that's, I guess, I don't know where I'm at on this movie a little bit. There were also like other moments of just wonderful acting between Carey Mulligan and um, Bradley Cooper. And did I mention that Bradley Cooper? Yeah, I think I mentioned him. He's playing um, Leonard Bernstein. But like there were moments when they had just these very long stretches of dialogue where they were saying a lot of things, and there were it seemed like marks that needed to be met and timing choreography that just needed to be perfect. And I'm watching the screen while these moments are going on, and I'm just like, wow, look at them act. They are doing so well. I love this. And there are these close-ups on them, and again, it's like drawing me in to what I'm seeing on screen, but still not necessarily story. Because I was like, I remember after the scene um, that I'm thinking of right now, I was like, afterwards, I was like, I don't know what they just said, but I was marveling at that long take. It was just so wonderfully done by them, especially Bradley Cooper. I think he does very good. There are some moments though. Speaking of makeup, I guess there's this great portion of the movie where he is conducting an orchestra. It looks like there's like stone behind him. I don't know where he's at, a church or a castle or something. I don't know, but he's very energetic, lively in this orchestrating that he's doing. But he's like sweating everywhere and he's smiling and stuff. But he's so animated that it almost looks funny. And because of the makeup and the hair and everything and that he has going on, he looks like, to me, Steve Martin doing a bit. So I was like loving everything I was seeing, the movements he was making, the composition, whatever, of the music was all wonderful. But I kept looking at him and seeing Steve Martin being hilarious. So it was kind of that, like, I guess took me out of the moment, but it was also fun. It was very fun, even though it was wrong. Like, I felt bad, like I was disrespecting the movie because I wasn't supposed to be reading it that way, but that's how I was reading it. But I really enjoyed my response while I was reading it. And that happened again, I guess not because of any sort of liveliness, but there were moments where when he's older, even older than when he looked like Steve Martin, where he looks a little bit like Leslie Nielsen. So he's not like acting like Leslie Nielsen, but I would see him every once in a while, and I'm like, look at that, it's Leslie Nielsen. um, when was that happening? I think he was like teaching maybe a student or something. Is that when it was? I don't know. Yeah, there was a few different moments where I thought he looked like Leslie Nielsen, but I don't know. Those were fun. They were not supposed. Supposed to be read the way I was reading them, but I had fun reading them that way. So overall, the movie just actually, here's another favorite part: the very end credits. We get to see the real Leonard, but what was really cool was, I didn't realize this, but it was produced by Scorsese and Spielberg, so you get both of their names at the end, which was really cool to see. But yeah, again, it's a movie that I can tell has some great craftsmanship to it. Really like a lot of it in terms of like the filmmaking, and like there's this moment where he gets this phone call. It's basically a life-changing phone call for him. It changes the trajectory of his life. And afterwards, like the camera's like moving around this auditorium. What was it, Carnegie or something? And it is just like I don't know. It's really energetic and wonderful, and I loved that moment when the camera's moving around following him. So yeah, there's just a lot of craft to this movie that I liked, but I just couldn't get sucked into the subject. And I think it's just the music. Maybe it was a little too similar to Tar. Tar I wasn't that into either. It's just, it's something that is not what I'm interested in. So again, it's not a movie thing, it's a me thing, because there was a lot of stuff in there that I was admiring about this movie. It was just I couldn't lock into the story. So, but here's the thing: there are biopics that I do love. So it's not like it's a biopic thing. It's a topic thing. I assume I like biopics about artists, painters, and people may just have an aversion to that, and maybe, or they're like, you know, I don't care about this. I don't care about art. Why do I care about the movie Pollock? Why do I care about the movie Frida? Why do I care about Basquiat? You know, like movies like that. I would understand if people would just feel like maybe bored by them, but maybe there's some things they can find in them that are interesting, but maybe as a whole they can't like jump into the subject matter. I get it, because that's how I felt about this movie. So while I was marveling at some of it, overall it just isn't uh, a, a topic for me, really. But maybe I should brush up more on it. I don't know though. I don't music. I don't know. I like School of Rock. I like that movie. And sure, there's other. I like Sister Act 2. So there are, I guess, some that I like. But I don't know. Here's another thing. My wife and I were talking about this. Since having kids, it's harder to watch just anything. We used to watch every Oscar nominee, but now we've sort of boiled it down to, we're just going to make sure we're going to shoot for the actors, and then but we're going to guarantee that we watch all of the Best Picture nominees. So that's kind of where we're at. We're like, we'll watch all the Best Picture winners, and then we'll, after that, try to get all the acting nominees also that didn't fall in Best Picture. So that's like where it used to be we'd watch them all categories. We just don't have the time for that anymore with work schedules, kids schedules, that sort of thing. Just getting older and more tired. We can't stay up as late. So that's becoming difficult. So when we do choose our movies, what we want to watch, it's stuff we already have an interest in. So something like this, it'd be a movie that I wouldn't watch normally. But because it's Oscar nominated, I will. Because it's Best Picture nominated, I will. It's a guaranteed watch for me. So it does not feel like a waste of time to me, because I want to be informed on the Best Picture winners for like ranking them, and also, you know, I can have an opinion on whoever wins, because I can surely say, yes, I do think that deserved it, or no, I don't think it deserved it because, you know, Maestro was better, or something else is better. So I like to have all the Best Picture winners watched, and then try to get into all the acting categories if I can, if there's enough time. I don't know if there'll be enough time. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. So basically, this is a movie I would not have watched if it was not nominated for an Oscar. And now that I have watched it, I found a lot of things to appreciate about it. But is it one that I would watch again? Maybe, to try and reinvest into the story to see if it can grab me. I do like when that happens with movies. I didn't like it, but give it a rewatch and then I finally get it. Movies like Casablanca did that for me. So maybe I would watch it again, but it didn't fully grab me, and it's the subject matter, and that's all, because the filmmaking, I think, was pretty good. Anyway, so have you seen this movie? And if so, what do you think of it? Do you think it was amazing? Did you see Steve Martin where I saw Steve Martin? Did you see Leslie Nielsen where I saw Leslie Nielsen? Do you think it should be a Best Picture winner? It will not be a Best Picture winner. I can guarantee that. Do you think Bradley Cooper should win actor? Was Carey Mulligan nominated? Should she win? You know, I can't remember. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. And perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.